Mane fa na se ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Solomon also.
Senna, good morning to you and good morning to co-panel. It's been a long time that we met on set.
Since the radio.
Yes. And as for my sister, last 3 weeks we met, so I have a fair idea what her make this morning is. And I can easily predict it. Kwame on Mondays we meet, so he too have a very fair idea what he's going to say. And Kwame also down. So let me also take this opportunity to associate myself with the thanks he gave to the MP for Elembele for that wonderful reception he gave to us when we went to Nkrofo. I mean, it was a nice journey. I'm sure it's a journey that you don't want to be part of again, but it's all good for God and country. Senna, Mr. Alan Chomante has resigned and exited from the New Patriotic Party. He was a founding member, and that history can never be erased from the NPP. He gave his reasons for resigning, which basically has to do with a clear departure of the party's founding principles, the ideals, the vision of our founding fathers, a vision that some of us subscribe to, based on which that we were supporting the New Patriotic Party. And so when he tried as he did to draw the attention of those that could make changes in the party to effect or restore back the ideals and principles of the party, it fell on deaf ears, and it was business as usual. And there comes a time that if you are a man and you believe strongly in a certain principle or principles, you just have to take a bow and then chart a new course. So it was to be expected, unless you didn't know Mr. Alan Chomante very well. He is so passionate about the principles, the ideals, the vision of the NPP, freedom, principle of probity, accountability, respect for human being or humanity, concentration on the private sector as the engine of growth. These are the things that identifies the New Patriotic Party, for which reason some of us were part. And if these principles are no more in existence, then what is the basis or what business do you have in associating with the party? A party that never knew thuggery. Now we have all manner of vigilante groups. I don't know what the kind of functions they operate within the party setup. So after the superdelegates election, it was obvious that the party had taken a conscious effort not to allow him, a few people do, let me say, put it that way, not to allow him to be the flag bearer for reasons best known to him. And you remember his statement on the 6th of September, he gave an indication that he had withdrawn from the race and that he would let the nation know his next line of action. In fact, between that period, that is from the 6th of September till the 25th of September that he spoke, Senator, that was when I realized that Mr. Alan Chomante indeed wielded that clout in Ghana's politics. And if anybody is going to underestimate him, that person does so at his own peril. Between the period that he was silent, I can tell you that the NPP was on a tenterhook, came to a standstill. Everyone wanted to know his next line of action. And lo and behold, on the 25th of September, he decided to address the nation through a press conference. Sitting at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel and he reading the press statement, I never knew there would be a paragraph that he would say that he was honorably resigning from the New Patriotic Party, and then also giving indication that he was going to go as an independent candidate. until when it was exactly 2:35 p.m. Then he said, at this stage, I am honorably resigning from the New Patriotic Party, and also indicating that I will be contesting as an independent candidate. Sir, I have been watching Kwame Nkrumah declaring independence on TV at the Polo Grounds, and anytime I watch that video, I am so happy. So in my life, I've been waiting for an opportunity to also take part in an independence celebration. Never knew that celebration will happen in my lifetime until the man declared that he was going as an independent candidate. There I felt independence. So some of us have openly applauded him and have vowed to carry through his vision to such a time that we are no more. And so it's a good thing, it's a good decision, and we believe that this country deserves a paradigm shift from what we have been served with. I listened to Honorable carefully, and I know I have listened to a lot of NDC members as well. They believe that our membership drive will largely come from the New Patriotic Party. I want to assure Honorable and be sitting here together with the entire NDC members that we would not take less than 20% of NDC members with us. Take it from me. We will not take less than 20% of NDC members from their own party. See, the phenomenon of people breaking away from political parties, it has been part of Ghana's politics. Indeed, the greatest Ghanaian that we celebrate, Kwame Nkrumah, you and I agree, broke away from the UGCC. You understand, to form the Convention People's Party, when he realized that the way and manner the UGCC leadership were handling affairs could not lead Ghana to independence within a record time. And so he decided to form a movement, and that movement is what you call the Convention People's Party. He mobilized the grassroots, he made the youth to take center stage in the affairs of the country or his campaign. And he defeated the UGCC and became relevant in Ghana's politics. The UP that you see today, that has transformed modified or modified or whatever into the New Patriotic Party, came out of the CPP. People don't know, because the NLM was from the CPP. You talk about Victor Usu, you talk about the Aram Bonsens, you talk about Joe Appias, and so on. They were all part of the CPP and came to the NLM, which later was joined by the Shifi Mokwe and then the Northern People's Party, the Anglo Youth, the Muslim Association, and so on, to form the UP. And 1992 we came to have the New Patriotic Party. The concept of independent candidate winning an election is also not a novelty in Ghanaian politics. In fact, we have had a lot of independent candidates winning at the parliamentary levels. In 1992, you remember the famous Hawa Yakubu. In fact, she became the toast of town. She held parliament together, the Iron Lady. So it's not a novelty. The only thing that has been missing in our politics is an independent candidate becoming a president. But you see, you can only speak to the past, but not the future. You and I do not know what tomorrow holds or how the election 2024 is going to pan out. In fact, we can only guess. Whatever we say here will be a guesstimate. And that is why when I hear people say the independent candidate is not going to make any impact, I laugh. If they knew what was coming from the skies, they will begin to wear helmets that are of metal. Yes. Yes. So we are very much focused, and we know that much impact will be created. Now, it is also not far-fetched. Oh, you want to continue? It is also not far-fetched that our neighbors in in the West African sovereign, Benin has on 2 occasions shown that an independent candidate can win an election. In fact, the current president of Benin is an independent candidate. Yayi Boni was an independent candidate. You can go to Europe and we can give you Putin as an example. In 2000 when Putin was coming, he was an independent candidate. It has happened in Portugal and so on. Because you see, independent candidates, they always carry the conscience of society. They are seen to be the voice of the voiceless. Because you don't have any section of Ghanaians to be lying to or to be dilly-dallying with, like the 2 political parties have been doing. Now, people say a lot of people have gone as independent presidential candidates and they don't make that much needed impact. And you ask yourself, why was it so? It has been so because we started our 4th Republican dispensation in 1992. Now, we had transitioned from the PNDC into the 4th Republic, and the NDC won the first election and also won the second election. So the Ghanaian decided to change the reins of governance to the NPP in 2000, and we ascended to the throne in 2001. NPP also came, did 8 years, and then we changed back to the NDC. NDC came, did another 8 years, and we changed back to the NPP because there had not been any clear cut. Ghanaians wanted to know what these 2 political parties really held for the people of this country, whether they had the capacity to be dealing with the issues that were facing Ghanaians. Now, by the 6th of January 2025, midnight, the NPP would have spent 16 years under the 4th Republic and NPP 16 years. The 2 combined, the 2 political parties combined, would have spent 32 years leading the country. Now, what else? So now, what else do you expect? What new thing? Tell me. Do you expect these 2 parties to bring on board to change the narrative? There is absolutely none. Now I'm for movement for change, so I am also going into the market to be fighting for the very votes that the NDC and the other lesser parties are fighting for. And here, our target is to get the ruling party out of power. And we are not in to be playing as minnows to any political party. I've heard a lot of people say, not a lot of people anyway, but a few people say, we are only in to be spoilers. Spoilers to, we are winning an election, say spoilers. To change the destiny of the land. When I listen to NDC communicators, I hardly hear any policy direction. Clear-cut policy to deal with the teeming unemployment situation. The youth of today in this country have lost hope. They have lost hope because they have been told by their parents and by their forebears that when you are born, you have to try and go to school. Make sure you go to university. Make sure you finish, and when you are done, you get a decent job. These students have been obedient, or these youth have been obedient. Went to school, primary, JHS, secondary school, then the midnight candle, go to the university, finish their national service, and they are back home without any employment. And all that they hear is, if it is not a Shirado, it is a Hejobodo. Without any deliberate policy to deal with the issues affecting them. So that today you have a lot of our youth subscribing to hookups. And a lot of the young guys betting, today is Saturday, go to the various cinemas. Football match has now become the source of income to achieve you. Not that they do not have the requisite qualification, but there is a situation of hopelessness. That's what this movement for change is about. So first of all, the movement is all about toppling the duopoly, or changing the status quo of our political system, where it has become the NPP and NDC, and by so doing, letting these two political parties respect humanity, respect their internal processes, so that because they feel it's a duopoly, when few people capture the party, they do whatever they like, because in their mind, when NDC is in power, after 8 years, they will leave for the NPP to take over. They will also come and misbehave for another 8 years, and so on and so forth. That is what this movement is about, to deal with that. Again, we have come in to promote the establishment of a government of national unity. The country is too much divided. You go to a radio station, you are even look, I am a typical example of a country that is so much divided. You remember we went to do Alaji and Alaji at is it North Tongue or South Tongue?
That's North Tongue.
North Tongue. Yeah. If I tell you the kind of personal attacks on my life, I didn't know after the program. Honorable Okuje took before the program. We took a picture when he was handing over some items to the hospital or so. So I never knew I mean, I saw the pictures, but I never knew he posted them on his Facebook wall. Because of internal elections, people took the pictures, flooded it on all MPP platforms, and then did their arrow to point at me. See, he is dining with the NDC. How can a country be reduced into just a childish mood? And I'm sure if my sister is sitting down here, I would be afraid to even offer her a lift. I mean, then I would have been afraid, but now I'm a member of the movement for change, and we don't stand for that. Because then I would have even created credibility crisis for her. You know, there is this gentleman in the NPP. What's the name? I've forgotten. He has been Bani, together with Efia Koto. The political ramifications of their union. Love does not know political color. But in this country, if your love mistakenly changes to a different direction, Sarah, you are doomed forever. And so, we in the movement for change wants to break that gap. We want to bring the country together. We want to bring NDC, NPP, the civil society, the private sector, those in the ghettos. We belong to the ghettos, the streets. That's where we are. We want to bring everyone, but we believe that everyone has his own God-given talent, and that the talent of the state or the nation does not reside in only one political party. And under no circumstance must anybody be denied because he or she is a member of a particular political party. We are building a nation, and that is why this movement is there. Now, we also want to build consensus, national development agenda, consensus on national development agenda. A typical case in point is our educational system. Do you know when President Kufuor came, our educational, the SS system was reviewed to 4 years. Professor Mills came, and it was reversed to 3 years. How can't we agree on a simple policy? Because this party feels it was done by the NDC. This one feels it was done by the MPP. We have put up structures at what's the name of those affordable Sagreme? No one is completing them. The one that Kufuor started. It was started by MPP, it was started by NDC. It doesn't help anyone. So the movement for change wants to stop this thing immediately by making sure that Ghana becomes a one state that believes in a common agenda. And our only enemy is poverty. Our only enemy is underdevelopment. And again, we want to inspire behavioral and then attitudinal change in our system. Look, Senator, there's too much indiscipline in our system. Too much. What people are supposed to do at workplaces, they refuse to do it because for them, nothing will happen. Too much corruption. Corruption is more or less like our daily religious activity in this country. And that is why you have poverty scattered all over the place. Arrogance of power. I have not seen a society where members that are supposed to serve the public are so arrogant in my life before, like in Ghana. Give someone a small power. Hey, the way he even handles his book, the way he treats subordinates, is as though the world belongs to him. Like a good friend of mine would say, we are senior there. So we want to deal with the issue of arrogance of power and then promote passion for excellence. And these are all the issues that the movement led by Mr. Lanchemanti intends to bring on board. And you see, we are not saying all these things in isolation. You know, when he was contesting for the flag bearer position of the NPP, he gave you his vision, his plan. He hadn't become the flag bearer, but he wanted to tell the nation that he had a plan, based on which, given the opportunity, he would rule by. And that was a great transformational plan. That plan is going to play a critical role in his administration, given the opportunity. When we intend to deal with the macroeconomic system of the country, reducing inflation, reducing interest rates, making sure we do not borrow, make judicious use of our tax revenue, and investing in the right sectors of the economy. Again, we have told you that we intend to concentrate on the agricultural sector of our economy, the new agricultural revolution, where we intend to rely on technology and invest massively in modern ways of embarking on agriculture, commercial farming, and in all these, back it with industrialization. On the occasion of he addressing the nation on the 25th of September, the man enumerated the sort of things he wants to do sector by sector. Tourism. I have heard my own government, and last time I heard the minister of my former government. Yes. No, the government is our own government. This government, are you not part of the government?
No, I'm not part of the government. I'm a Ghanaian.
I have heard the minister of tourism says they are leveraging on funerals to deal with the issue of tourism. I couldn't imagine it. People dying every morning is a tourism. No, but Mr. Lanchemanti says when given the opportunity, issues like visas on arrival, which Ethiopia is using effectively, Rwanda and so on, would be implemented. You understand? We have a huge deficit gap in our infrastructure. Any advanced country relies on private public partnership. He intends to implement in this country. So, Senator, there is a clear-cut vision. And we are doing all these things in conjunction with the youth. Our campaign is being led by the youth, because we believe the future of this country belongs to the youth. So we have given the campaign to them to lead it, for them to know that it is not easy to win political power, and that when they win political power, they will not come and play with it. He has also made a bold statement, and I mean Mr. Lanchemanti, that given the opportunity, 60% of his appointments will be given to the youth of this country. So he tells you he means business, and it is working perfectly. And our comfort in this whole thing, and that's why I'm saying that anybody that is underestimating Mr. Lanchemanti, we want it that way. We are playing as the underdogs, because when you visit or when you take a critical look at our voter population, we have, as of the 2020, we have registered 70 million Ghanaians. Is that not the case? We are also told by the Ghana Statistical Service that 55% of this voting population belongs to the youth bracket. That is the ages of 18 to 35 years, which translates to about 9.3 million or so. Now, between 36 to 45 years of the voting population constitute about 3.3 million. And these are the age brackets who are suffering the most when it comes to employment. They are not getting jobs to do. And that is why poverty is rife. Now, to further worsen the situation, if these people were not having jobs, it means they were supposed to, or they are supposed to rely on their parents who are in their 50s and 60s, who are the last age brackets in the voting cycle. But these parents are also suffering. So it means the plight of these parents are also the plight of the youth. And their problems have been compounded by the NDC and the MPP. So what makes anybody think that the youth of this country, together with their parents, will continue to give the mandate of this country to these two political parties so that they will continue to keep them impoverished? Now I hear people say, why did, especially my good brother, Honorable Inosa, Alan should have resigned early enough. I mean, Alan's presence at the Trade and Industry Ministry is what occasioned the automotive development policy. Can you imagine he resigning? Would we have had that? Would we have had the assembly of vehicles in this country? He would have denied the country the opportunity of having it. If Alan had not been part of this administration, we wouldn't have had African Continental Free Trade established with headquarters in Accra. If he had left, we would not be having the business resource centers scattered across the country. If Alan had left, we would not be having the export development strategy that aims at realizing close to 25 billion by year 2030. If Alan had not been there, how would we have implemented the one district, one factory successfully? So he needed to be there, and he left at the time that was important for him to leave. So, Senna, it's a good thing, and I want to encourage every youth in this country that if Alan Chamanti was a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, could leave the party at the time that he has realized that, look, if you don't take care, this country will collapse under our nose and our eyes. You would have just started your life. What business do you have to say, I was born with elephant blood or umbrella in my heart or in my... there is nothing like that. Take that crucial decision today and join the movement. And I can report that the response rate, I have been overwhelmed. And in the coming days, I'll come and buy airtime and be putting our adverts on your TV, and there will be history that will be made come 2024. I have no doubt in my mind. I have no doubt in my mind. I will end it here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, a few messages that you're sending to us, comments on what you've been listening to so far. This is Jonas, who says, I'll prefer the minority parties to direct the demonstration to the EC, especially Jim Mensah and his allies, rather than the BOG governor. If he leaves today, what next? The EC has changed the 2020 elections results for more than 8 times. Until now, we don't know the winner or what exactly is the results. And no one's concerned about it. The same people will be there 2024 elections. Please, let's think about it properly and take the demonstrations to the EC. That's Jonas sending that. Dennis Yakwete is also sending us a message. Says, Alan may have a point for his resignation and to become an independent candidate, even though I do not see it as a good strategy, save that it was meant to crush Dr. Bawumia's ambition and to bring his own political career to an end, rather regrettably. But for Alan to have said that his decision to contest as an independent candidate would not destroy the MPP but provide an opportunity for the MPP in its current destructive form to participate in a national unity government in the future shows that Alan should not be taken serious. It is all about personal interest. I pitied his other MPP followers beyond 2024 unless the said movement for change metamorphose into a viable political party. Dennis Yakwete, thank you for that message. This one is coming from Mati Kwame Sedem in Soviet. Says, I really sympathize with Alan's predicament orchestrated by elements from his own party led by Akufo-Addo. I equally blame Alan for his indecisiveness, which I believe has forever rendered him incapacitated to be the president of this country. Sad to say, his presidential ambition is dead and gone. Pathetic. That's Martin Kwame said them. There's Musa Batwa, who says, Senna, is there a leader in the MPP who can call some of the members to order, insulting and attacking the integrity of Alan Chomantin? It's political suicide. The earlier they stop the attack, the better for them. Alan is a constituent in the MPP. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia are practicing undemocratic system in the country. Thank you. Tafai Namra here says, Son, I honestly sympathize with Honorable Alan. The way Akufo-Addo betrayed him is very painful, and no human being can tolerate this. This man who stepped down for you at Legon in 2007, the MPP primary for you to lead the party, doesn't deserve this kind of betrayal from you. Hadi in Pig Farm says, with the good people of Ghana, will be very funny to elect Dr. Bawumia as our president come 7 December 2024. If Dr. Bawumia has what it takes to be president, he should have used it to help his boss, Addo. What difference will he bring? He should use his knowledge to help solve the economic problems we are facing. Inshallah, victory will be for the humble and hardworking gentleman called JDM come December 7, 2024. To my brother Solo, the only thing that's coming from the sky is JDM. Will be president again come December 7, 2024. That is Hardy, who sent that all the way from Pig Farm. Thank you for sending in those messages. Keep on sending the messages, and I'll be going through them as we go along in the show. It's a matter of what talk shows Alaji and Alaji, live on Pan-African Television, also live on Radio Gold. We are discussing the man who was told in 2007, after me is you.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.